Hi everyone, it's Rax. We put together the brand new Ina Monk yesterday, and at the end of the first day of the PTR, we pushed it and we were able to take the rank 1 spot. Let me take you through and show you the clear and talk to you about the set and maybe some changes we could make to it before rolling it to live that's going to make it a lot better. So anyway, what is this build? Ina's has been changed to be a very strong Mystic Ally build. So we are using Mystic Allies, and Mystic Allies deal significantly more damage to enemies that have been hit by Cyclone Strike. Cyclone Strike is fun to use because it gathers all the enemies for us, and Cyclone Strike can also proc a legendary shoulder that monks have, Lefebvre's Soliloquy, which is going to give you major damage reduction. So the synergy here, looking at it on face value, seems pretty good. You run in, use Cyclone Strike, and then you punch to generate your Mystic Allies, and they're supposed to kill everything. If you look in the top right corner throughout the clear, you can see the little purple dots. Those are my Mystic Allies. Now, one very interesting thing is on the bracers, the multiplier that they give you, I think it goes up to like 400%. Fire allies get a way higher bonus. They get a 5 times bonus on that multiplier. So the obvious path to take is to take fire ally, right? But that is not what is currently best in slot on the PTR. As I get destroyed, as I'll get to this in a moment, one thing that I think you guys are going to find in this current iteration of this build is it's pretty squishy. I'm even using a unity here instead of a convention of elements, and I still feel like I'm taking significant damage. We'll get to that in a second. You would think with the 5 times multiplier that you would take the fire ally, right? There's no buff to any of the other runes specifically, but there have been many people who have tested this, and pretty much a unanimous agreement that the best ally to take is actually water. And the reason why, when some people have dug into the mechanics like Rob from Maxroll, is it seems like the water ally is the only rune that is getting certain benefits from your character. For example, the water ally seems to be the only one that can trigger area damage, and it seems to be the only one that's working with attack speed. So, for example, all these different buffs, if they're only applying to water ally, even missing that 5 times bracer multiplier for fire is making water win. Now, there are some problems with the water ally and maybe just Mystic Allies in general, which you probably could have guessed before even playing the build, and that's that the AI, the intelligence of these random pets running around and dealing your damage is not always the best. There will be a time up ahead where you see I have tons of water allies up, and they are just swimming around. Like, look right now, they're swimming around like Michael Phelps, attacking all over the map. This is really bad for several reasons. Remember, we only deal significant damage to the enemies that we have Cyclone struck. So if I Cyclone Strike in the middle, and my allies are going at, I mean, you can see my allies at times are like 2 screens ahead of me or 2 screens behind me. There's no chance that I have Cyclone struck them. So my allies over there are just not doing any damage. They're not helping me. Okay? So another problem is when they're going around attacking everywhere all over the screen, I'm not proccing area damage. So those two things combined are really, really nerfing my damage. You will notice a huge difference on the end when I'm fighting the Rift Guardian, when all of my allies are truly just attacking one target, that my damage goes up significantly. So the set in general, in my opinion, is almost there. It almost has enough survivability for you guys to play it and enjoy it. Right now, it has to be said, I have My gear is pretty good, but everything else about my character couldn't be worse. I have level 40 gems, so barely past 25. I have 0 augments, and I'm Paragon 800. So with all that, I'm able to do a 110, or excuse me, a 111, and I could go higher. Could probably do somewhere close to a 115 in this state, which you might think, wow, I mean, 800 guns, no augs, super low gems, 115, that's pretty good. That's true. I would say it's pretty good. But I think you guys are going to be a bit frustrated with the survivability and with the AI of the mirror images. As you can see, I am not happy at all that I just keep getting chain killed here. So one way that they may solve this, and I tried the other allies, and I tried pushing with fire as well. Some of the allies seem to behave a little bit better. So maybe just using water, which tries to swim around the whole map all the time. Once, if a different rune is buffed, maybe that solves it on its own. But the analogy that I would give for how I want the allies to behave is like something already in the game, like the Necromancer skeletal mages. Skeletal mages are amazing. You summon them. Whatever you're targeting when you summon them, they attack that target until they're dead or until you move. When you move, they move extremely quickly and they follow you, and they generally fight in the area that you're in. Their auto targeting is very good. Their DPS uptime is extremely good. It just seems like the AI of the skeletal mages of the Necromancer seems to be the most superior pet that I can think of in this game. If the Mystic allies were able to behave like that, if I was chain attacking that yellow right there, and the water allies would focus on them, and then I could cyclone them in and they could do the area damage, and maybe I switch to the fire ally and I actually get the bonus because it works with area damage and attack speed like the other builds do, then that may be enough. The only thing I would ask is maybe we can get a bit more survivability here. Of course, if I'm fully juiced out, if I'm super high Paragon, if I have full augs, if I have perfect gear, I'd probably be able to survive just fine. But that is not an option for most players. Most players, are not going to play that much. They want to put on the new Ina's Monk and they want to start to dominate, right? So this is an example of what it's like to play it, without optimal anything, and it's a bit squishy. So anyway, that's my feedback. And as you can see, we had a chicken festering with a conduit, so anything is possible there. And we are going to win. I'm about to show you guys a catastrophic mistake I'm about to make. Luckily, since we were at 95%, it didn't really matter. But I've died a couple of times, right? So I want to revive at checkpoint, which should just bring me to the portal right up there if I die. And that will save me the, whatever it is, 15-second, 20-second res timer. So I'm just thinking, if I die, just click revive at checkpoint. That way, we don't lose any time, even though we're going to clear this easily. It shouldn't really matter. So there we go. I die. Not happy about it. Revive at checkpoint. Oops. I forgot. Battlefields doesn't give you a checkpoint. This is not the first time I've made this mistake in a video, but luckily, since we're at 97%, it will not matter at all. We just need to kill a couple little stragglers that we forgot, and it's not going to cost us too much time. But remember, when using that trick, another little lesson to learn, when you get a Battlefields, you did not get a new checkpoint. So if you revive at checkpoint, you will go back to the beginning of the previous map, which essentially just sent me to the start of my entire clear. But this was a pretty amazing festering. I almost one-floored this chicken festering. So with an incredible map, you can see we have a very, very nice lead. Probably means I could go up another 3-4 tiers. Probably could clear a 115 with this state. which is not terrible, but it's definitely behind things like Firebirds, so I do not think that this build is S tier right now. And look at the damage. Look at the damage of the Michael Phelpses swimming back and forth. They're all concentrating on this huge Rift Guardian. Super easy mode. Let me know what you guys think. I'll throw a planner down in the comments to show you what I did, and a full build guide will be coming very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and many more videos are coming. Thank you.